Equations with the distributive property. Remember the 5 steps to solve equations? We can remember by using this phrase. Every cowboy gets nervous sometimes. The E on every reminds us to eliminate the parentheses by using the distributive property. The C on cowboy reminds us to combine like terms. We look on the left side of the equal sign, combine like terms there. Then we look on the right side of the equal sign and combine like terms there. The G on gets reminds us to get the variable on one side of the equal sign. The N on nervous reminds us to get the numbers on the other side. And the S on sometimes reminds us to solve. Example 1. We have the opposite of y plus 4 plus 2y equals negative 3y minus 8. Now, the first thing you should look for is there parentheses? And there is, right? Right here we have parentheses. So the first thing we should do is eliminate those parentheses. And the way that we eliminate the parentheses is by using the distributive property. But you may be saying, what number is there? What number do I distribute? Well, if you don't see the number, it is 1. And in fact, this is negative 1. So we're multiplying. I can show the rainbow here. Negative 1 times y. That would be negative y. And negative 1 times positive 4. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Remember, you do not distribute to the term outside the parentheses, right? So this just gets brought down. It's positive plus 2y, right? Bring your equal sign down. On this side, I have no parentheses, so I'm just going to bring those terms down as well. Negative 3y minus 8. So I've done step 1. My parentheses are now eliminated. Step 2, combine like terms. Let's look on the left side. I have y terms, right? This negative y and this positive 2y. Those are like terms. I'm going to put them in the same shape to show they're like terms. Notice how I put the sign in front of the term inside this shape because the sign in front of the term goes with the term, right? It tells you whether it's positive or negative. So I have 2y and negative y. That is just 1y, which I can just write as y, right? Because when the coefficient's not written, it's understood to be 1. So these combine to give you y, and you still have minus 4. That's my left side, y minus 4. Bring the equal sign down. These terms stay the same because they are unlike terms, right? These are not like terms. So I've eliminated the parentheses, I've combined like terms. Step 3 is to get the variable on the same side. Right now I have variables on both sides. So it doesn't matter which side you choose, just choose a side and get it there. So I'm going to choose to get it on the left side. So I need to move this negative 3y to the other side. And the way that I do that is to do the opposite of this sign. So add 3y. And of course, if I add 3y on the right side, I must also add 3y on the left side. And notice how I stacked my y terms, right? I put plus 3y underneath this y term, and I put plus 3y underneath this y term. Of course, these y terms cancel, right? That's the whole reason I added 3y, is so that those would cancel. Y plus 3y, that gives you 4y. Bring down this term. That term is minus 4. Bring down your equal sign. And what you're left with on the right side is this term right here, minus 8 or negative 8. All right, so now we have our variable on one side. Step 4, get the numbers on the other side. So if my variable is on the left side, I got to get the numbers on the right side. So I have to undo this subtraction by addition, add 4 to both sides, so that those 4's cancel, right? Negative 4 plus 4, that cancels out. And you're left with 4y equal to negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. Fifth and final step is to solve for y, right? Get that coefficient of the variable to be 1. This is 4 times y, so to undo the multiplication, I divide by that coefficient. I divide both sides by 4, so that those 4's simplify to 1 times y, which is y. And y is equal to negative 4 divided by 4, which is 1. Y equals negative 1. Okay, one more example. Example 2, we have negative 2 times. I'm saying times because that's what the parentheses tell me. Negative 2 times x minus 4 minus x is equal to 5x minus 4 minus 4x. Step 1, eliminate the parentheses by distributing. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Then you have negative 2 times, what's this term? This is not 4, this is negative 4. 4, right? That sign tells you whether the term is positive or negative. So I have a negative times a negative, which gives me a positive. 2 times 4 is 8, right? I don't distribute to this term, right? It's not in the parentheses. So I just bring it down, negative x. Then you have your equal sign. Over here you have no parentheses, so I'm just going to bring all of that down. 5x minus 4 minus 4x. So now my expression has no parentheses. I have eliminated them by using the distributive property. Step 2, combine like terms. Let's look on the left side. I have negative 2x and negative x, right? Those are like terms. They're both negative, so I'm going to add and keep the sign. So negative 2x and negative x is negative 3x, and you still have positive 8. So I combined on the left side. Now look on the right side. You have 5x and negative 4x, or 5x minus 4x. That's just 1x, or just x, and you still have this term, minus 4. All right, so you did step 2, combined like terms. Step 3, get the variable on one side. Right now they're on both sides. You have an x here and an x there. So it doesn't matter which side you choose, just pick a side. Let's move this negative 3x over here so that our x term will be positive. So to move it over there, what's the opposite of a negative sign? That's positive, right? Let's add 3x to both sides. Notice how I stacked my x terms. These x terms cancel, right? Negative 3x plus 3x, that's 0. And I'm just left with 8, positive 8 on the left side. I have x plus 3x, that's 4x, and I still have minus 4. So now my x terms on the right side, that means I get the numbers on the other side. Get those numbers on the left side. So how do you undo this subtraction? Well, you would add 4 to both sides so that those 4's cancel. You have 8 plus 4, that's 12 on the left side, and you just have 4x on the right side. Fifth and final step is to solve. Undo this multiplication by division. I'm going to divide by that coefficient of 4. So those 4 simplify, and you have x is equal to 12 divided by 4, which is 3, and that is my solution.